What's up, everybody? Hope you all had a great day. Getting into this episode of GH. I enjoyed this episode. Honestly, I did. Um, I'm loving this little plan that they all concocted, and Laura is a part of the plan. I love it. Laura played Deputy Mayor Ashby like a fiddle. She played her. She laid out the bait. She set the bait out there, and Eileen took the bait. You know what I mean? Because she told her, like, listen, I need you to sit in on this meeting tomorrow for me for the sanitation department or whatever, this little sanitation meeting. She was like, because Anna and Valentine died in an explosion in Paris. Um, so she was pretty much laying on the groundwork. You know what I mean? Eileen took it. The whole part of that plan was to get Eileen rattled. You know what I mean? Get her all freaked out. And it worked because Felicia and Anna came up with the perfect plan. Since Victor thinks the whole world, most of the world think Anna and Valentine are dead, use that shit to your advantage. They need to do a little, since you're dead, you might as well act like a ghost. You might as well haunt people and taunt them, haunt them, do whatever you got to do. Valentine was like, yeah, that's a good plan, but he was like, that's not going to work on Victor. But the aha moment was, this shit ain't for Victor. They had a whole nother target in mind. Because they knew that wasn't gonna work on Victor, so they was like, no, Victor ain't the target, and Anna already recorded the message that she needed to record. Um, so Eileen went to go see Victor or whatever, all freaked out and pissed off because she was like, I didn't sign on for people dying. She was like, I didn't sign up for none of this, and I quit. I'm backing out. Victor basically let her little ass know, like, man, you work for me. He said, you're done when I say you're done, and you're not done. And he basically told her, like, listen, people dying, that's a part of the risk. He said it doesn't matter how you feel about it. That's a part of the job. And he was like, basically, don't cross me. Don't fuck with me. Eileen should have known getting in bed with Victor Cassadine was not a smart move. She should have knew that. Like at the end of the day, you sitting there coming to Victor talking about, oh, I'm out. Ma'am, it don't work that way. It don't quite work that way, Miss Madam Deputy Mayor. That's not gonna work. So she went to her car or whatever, turned on the radio, and that's when Anna's message came on, basically telling her she's next. Like, she freaked that lady the fuck out. That lady looked like she was about to turn white. She already white, but she looked like she was about to be pale. Like, she just lost all the little red in her face. Just drooped out. And I think it was smart on them. That shit was a stroke of genius. Using Eileen to get the Victor is smart because she's the weak link. You know what I mean? She doesn't want any part of anybody dying and all that stuff. She don't want that on her conscience. You know what I'm saying? She didn't sign up for none of that. So using her to get the Victor is smart because I'm pretty sure she can testify against him. She got some type of evidence on him. Something that they can use. Or even get him saying something incriminating to her. They could mic her up or something like that. She could say something incriminating and they'll give her a lesser deal. They'll give her a deal where she gets full immunity or whatever. So I think it's smart to use her. Always go for the weak one. I'm just saying, it's a smart ass plan. Um, so anyway, moving on from that, Spencer pretty much gave Victor the lowdown on what he was planning on doing. He wanted to take custody of his new sibling or whatever. Victor was hearing what Spencer was saying, but he wasn't listening. Victor was hearing what he wanted to hear because he wasn't paying attention too much to what the hell Spencer was saying, or he just ignored everything Spencer was saying. Because Victor thought it was a brilliant move for him to try to get custody of his sibling because he was like, this is perfect. We can get Nicholas to fall in line. He will lose everything. He'll have no choice but to come back to the Cassadine fold and do what he's told. And Spencer was like, that's not why I'm doing this. He said, my plan is to get Nicholas the hell out of my life, not bring him in it. He said, I want him out. And Victor was like, oh, but, we got to, keep family close. You still need family. And this is still smart. And Victor wasn't hearing shit Spencer was saying. He was just hearing whatever he wanted to hear. That's all Victor was doing. I'm like, sir, listen to what he's trying to tell you. He don't give a damn about his daddy. at this point. He don't want his daddy a part of his life, and you keep saying, well, this is perfect to get him in our lives, to keep him in our lives, and get him to act right. Victor is delusional as shit. I'm like, Spencer, don't waste your breath on him. Because that man is delusional. He pretty much sees Spencer coming into his own, and he feels like he got high hopes for Spencer to lead the Cassadine charge one day. You know what I'm saying? He feels like Spencer is becoming more and more Cassadine. And I'm like, in a way, yes, but not the evil part. You know what I'm saying? He's using his Cassadine for good. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing it for the better good. He's not doing it for evil intent. You know, like Victor would do. But that's what Victor want. You know, he want Spencer to be all evil. So, of course, you know, he told Spencer about Valentine's death and whatnot. But yeah, Victor's delusional. If he think all his little plans gonna work, I'm like, sir, you're bugging out. So anyway, moving on from that. I was looking at Ava like, girl, you got to do something. We got to think. I'm like, we got to do something with this body. Like, you got this man knocked unconscious, maybe dead, all up in the living room. You need to call Sonny and his people. No. Never mind. Don't call Sonny. Don't call him. Because I think Sonny would help Ava discreetly get rid of Nicholas's body, but I do feel like I wouldn't put it above Sonny to use that shit as leverage one day. No, don't call him. Cause I'm like, Ava, we gotta think. We gotta get rid of him. And we gotta keep your ass out of prison. I'm just saying, we gotta do what it do. So Austin came knocking at the door and whatnot. So, you know, she had to close the doors, the living room doors, and send Austin to the sitting room or whatever while she disposed of Nicholas' body. So she put it in the closet in the stables or whatever. And of course, Austin popped up on her, and he was like, what the hell you doing? Like, what's going on? So she had to break it down to him, everything that was going on, but she knew she couldn't call the police or nothing like that because they would just charge her for murder and think that, you know, she had a motive for killing him, trying to get revenge on him or whatnot. And, you know, Austin tried to be like, oh, well, if you had a good lawyer. Ava said, no, the courts don't matter. She said the courts don't even matter at this point. She worried about Victor and what he gonna do if he find out about this shit, so she got to cover it up. And she got to keep it from Laura. You know, she don't want Laura finding out about it. So I'm so happy that Austin came through because she thought he was going to turn her in. Like, she was offering him everything. She said, you can have the gallery, you can have Windermere, you can have money, whatever you want. He was like, I don't need none of that. He was like, I'm going to help you because I know that you didn't do this on purpose. He said, so I'm going to help you cover it up. I said, in Austin we trust. Thank you, Austin. At least Ava got an ally in all of this mess. But we do have one other problem. Mason is still lurking. And I don't trust him. Because what if he stumbles upon this Nicholas secret? Ain't no telling what he would do with it. You know, blackmail, whatever. So they do need to take care of that little issue. But I don't blame Ava for doing what she got to do. You know what I'm saying? I do not blame her. Like, he was threatening to take her daughter. So she acted in the heat of the moment, knocked his ass out. Probably killed him. But it is what it is. You know, you was protecting your daughter. I don't think they're going to permanently kill Nicholas off. They're going to find a way to bring him back because Nicholas is a central character. So I don't see them killing him permanently. I think they just taking him out for the time being. But I'm glad, you know, Ava did what she had to do. 2 tears in a bucket. Fuck it. Ava did what she needed to do. I ain't mad at it. So anyway, moving on from that. Taggart and, you know, Jordan sitting here talking and whatnot about their exes, you know, getting married tomorrow. See, I knew it. The rehearsal dinner is the day before the wedding. I said that on this video before, on my previous video. I knew it. Because people tend to do the rehearsal dinner and the bachelor and bachelorette parties the same night, the day before the wedding. Because they do the rehearsal dinner first, then later that night they had their little respective parties. And then the next day it's time for the wedding. Because the rehearsal dinner is always the day before the wedding. I had that feeling. So yeah, they said they're talking about that and whatnot, and you know, they try to accuse each other of still being in love with their ex or still having feelings with, you know, for their exes, whatever. Honestly, I feel like Jordan is always gonna have feelings for Curtis, and I feel like Taggart always gonna have feelings for Portia. When you've been with somebody or you've known them a long time, those feelings just don't go away just because y'all not together no more. But I don't see none of them getting back together. Honestly, I don't. Could it happen? Sure. Do I see it happening? No. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can still have feelings for your ex, but move on with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to have them. Jordan was definitely dropping little hints and little innuendos, talking about protecting Curtis and stuff, and that sparked something in Taggart because he was in interrogation mode. He was like, "What you mean protect him? Like protect him from what?" And then she was like, "Oh, same way, like I'm protecting you," and Taggart started thinking like, "What the hell we all need protecting from? Protecting from what?" So he felt like Jordan was holding something back, and that's when he started thinking she was talking about Portia's affair that she had on him with Curtis back in the day. And he thought that she was trying to protect him from that or whatever, thinking that maybe Portia would do it again. And Jordan was like, no. Jordan felt like Portia wasn't going to cheat on Curtis, but, she felt like she would do anything to keep Curtis. I'm like, yeah, that's an understatement. But, Portia was definitely uncomfortable with this wedding, because she know this big old bombshell that Trina could be the daughter, and plus she's protecting Taggart. Or at least trying to protect Taggart because this involves him too, obviously. So it's a big mess all the way around. And ain't no telling how anybody's going to react when they even find out Jordan even suspected this stuff. Hopefully they don't flip out on her and try to put the blame off on her, like she was malicious in all this or something, because that wasn't the intent. So even Stella's not coming to the wedding because Stella they claim is sick, but we all know why Stella not coming. Stella basically not going because she already put it out there like she's not going to officiate a wedding if there's a secret like this. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in the world she could feel comfortable enough doing this, knowing that there's this big old secret looming. So anyway, moving on from that. So we get to the party at the Savoy. TJ and Molly, they finally get let out of the closet to attend this event. I feel like they don't use TJ and Molly at all, and I really feel like they're missing something by not using them. I feel like they're dropping the ball by not using them. Because this is the next generation. Molly being a lawyer, TJ being a doctor. Excuse me. With TJ being a doctor, Molly being a lawyer, I feel like they're dropping the ball by not utilizing them. I feel like we should be seeing more of them, honestly. But TJ was talking to Molly about how, both of Curtis and Jordan's careers would broke them up and stuff like that. So she was promising that wasn't going to happen to them. I'm like, TJ, are you rewriting history or I think TJ don't know the full story, I think. Because career kind of had nothing to do with why they broke up. Career played a part into it, but it was mostly Jordan's career. Because remember, every time Curtis tried to make time with Jordan, she wouldn't make time with him. He would come near just to have dinner with her, and she would come up with some excuse, "Oh, I'm busy, I'm working, I'm this, I'm that." So she was the one that wasn't trying to make time. But it was mostly about lies and stuff like that is what broke them up, not really their careers. The career only played a part in it. It was other things too that broke them up. So anyway, Trina came over to ask Molly about, the Esme case or whatever and what's going on with the charges and whatnot. But, Molly pretty much showed her like the DA's office is pretty much either going to drop all the charges due to her current state or they're going to plead it down and she's going to do very little time. Either way, she's either going to get the charges dropped or they're going to give her a slap on the wrist and she might do maybe a few months to a year in prison, maybe two. But either way, it's not going to be significant time. So, of course, Trina wasn't too happy about that. Rightfully so. Esme definitely should go down. But, sometimes that's how it works. So anyway, Curtis came up with the ultimate surprise for Portia. I'm surprised that her family made it to the town because Portia don't really talk about her family too much. I didn't even know she had a brother named Zeke. I had no idea because I do know she mentioned her mother and father before and that they were doctors. So it was good that, Curtis surprised her by bringing her family into town and stuff. But her mother couldn't make it, so Curtis ended up hiring a caretaker for the mother while the brother and the father were there. At first, I was gonna ask where the hell Curtis getting all this money from, but I keep forgetting he is in a partnership with Ms. Wu because during the party, Brad ended up showing up, giving him a hefty envelope, which I'm pretty sure has some stacks of money in it, from his aunt and stuff like that. I said, Curtis, you are taking the devil's nectar. Look at him taking that money. I said, that is just the devil's juice over here taking that money. I ain't mad at him though. I mean, shit, get your coin. I love this party though. Cause I said, look at all these beautiful ass black people on this party. I said, that's what I'm talking about. So we got to meet Portia's family, her brother Zeke and her father Sterling. And I was kept looking at Zeke as I was watching the episode. And I'm looking at Zeke. I said, I know him from somewhere. Where do I know Zeke, the actor? And I thought about it. I said, that's fucking Jeffrey Harrington from the Haves and the Have Nots on OWN Network. Tyler Perry show. I said, look at Jeffrey. That used to be my show too. I used to watch that shit every week. That was my guilty pleasure show because that shit was a mess. I said, look at Jeffrey. Look at all these beautiful ass black folk. My thing was when I seen Zeke and her father Sterling, I said, you know what? Bring the mama on. I would not be mad if they brought Portia's family up here permanently. Because I was like, look at all these gorgeous ass people. I said, bring them up here. Bring everybody. Bring the mama too. Bring them. I feel like they could be brand new characters up here. Let them come on the show. They could start out in recurrent, even though the show was already bloated. But I said, we need more African American representation up in here. You know what I'm saying? We need more of that. And I said, look at all of this. They look good. Everybody was all sharp dressed. I loved it. So, you know, Portia was worried when she found out Stella wasn't going to officiate this wedding. She was like, okay, so what's good with Stella? So she tried to call Stella, but it went to voicemail. I think she's starting to be worried that Stella may know something. And that's why she dropped out, because it's not like Stella to miss Curtis's wedding. Even Taggart was shocked by that when he heard that news. He was like, she not going, he said she must be hella sick if she not going to make it to the wedding. I said, she's sick, all right. She's sick of Portia bullshit. That's what she's sick of. So I think Portia's starting to suspect something. I love that scene though when Trina and Curtis was dancing. Trina was getting down on that dance floor. I said, "Go Trina." Trina was getting down. So Trina and Marshall got a chance to talk, and we got a mention of Epiphany. I get so sad thinking about it. R.I.P. Sonya Eddy. I get so sad. So he mentioned Epiphany, and he said, you know, she passed her MCATs, and right now she looking for medical school or whatnot out of town, so she might be moving. But he said nothing is definite right now. I got so sad. I said, oh my God. The Lord done took another angel. I miss her. Like, I love me some Epiphany. I swear. I'm going to miss her dearly. Sonya Eddy was such a light. I swear. Every time I watch the show and I see her, I just get happy when Sonya Eddy popped up on this show. Whenever we got some Epiphany, I loved it. Because she always knocked it out the park, and she always brought a ray of sunshine, and I love it. So, yeah. Elizabeth popped up at the party. You know, Drew was there. I'm surprised Drew was there without his beard, Carly, which is shocking. But you know, they was commencing over Cameron's breakup and her breakup, and she kept dropping little innuendos and stuff like that about how tomorrow's not promised and she may not be able to be there for Cameron and stuff like that. And I'm like, Liz, don't do nothing stupid now. Like, my whole thing is she better not turn herself in. I'm just saying, do not. At least talk to Scott first. You know what I'm saying? Get some legal advice. Like, don't just throw yourself under the bus. And with Nicholas being MIA at this point, I'm like, you may not even need to turn yourself in. You might be able to keep this on the hush. I'm just saying, like, it would be in her best interest at this point. You ain't got to reveal a damn thing. Lord knows I wouldn't. I wouldn't say nothing. Nada. I wouldn't say not zilch. But you know what? I was loving this party though. I really was. Seeing all these beautiful ass people up in this party, I was feeling it. Marshall is still worried about performing at the wedding and whatnot. And I'm glad Laura's gonna officiate the wedding, but it ain't gonna really be nothing to officiate once Curtis find out the truth. Because once that truth come out, Curtis ain't gonna want to marry her. Ain't no way in the world. But anyway, hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode, and I will see you all later. Peace.